the carts, wagons, and merchants coming in for the end of summer festivities in Oakhurst, you discovered that the scouts of Felsiel had been killed, and the bandit lair was a complete massacre. You were then attacked by these strange tree beings once again, and a huge tree-like creature as well, also coming out of the woods and attacking you. You then returned to Oakhurst, informing Felsiel of everything you have found, and she then gave you some more information about some strange goings-on in the past years that she has been posted as captain of the guard in Oakhurst, and the mayor and the nobles, and some maybe strange happenings going on with the nobility of Oakhurst. She also told you to talk to Kerwin to get more information about her son and daughter, who went with the paladin Sir Bradford into the citadel that looms over the mountains of Oakhurst. So now, with the festivities of Oakhurst fully underway and leaving the captain's garrison, you find yourself in the very busy and very party mood heavy town of Oakhurst, as it is in full swing of the summer solstice festivities.
Well then.
Where to next?
I believe we were heading to the pub, weren't we?
Were we? I could do with a drink.
You did promise Richard a tea if he didn't drink from the well this time.
I did, this is true. But do you think maybe we ought to get Sylvain and Richard to an apothecary? Because obviously they took some heavy hits, and I was the only one you healed properly, and I feel a little bit guilty about that.
It might be advisable, I suppose.
What does everybody want to do? I mean, do we need a drink first, or should we go and get healing sorted? It would be good to stock up my healer kit again, because obviously I've used a few bandages now, some successfully.
You've used them, sure.
Why are you so mean to me? I tried.
Have you read a book on it? No.
No.
Exactly.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, then why don't you do it then?
Because you're usually the one that's healing me, or attempting.
This rib's not healing itself. Can we go get moving?
Right, let's go
It
to
must
the
have
apothecary
hurt
then.
to clear your throat that way.
Follow on. Somebody find the way to the apothecary. I've got the town map. We can open it up and have a look. Can we have a look at the town map?
Yes, you sure can. There you go.
Thank you. Right.
But you are currently here at the garrison, of course.
Was this the apothecary?
It is indeed. Good memory.
Right. In that case, we should head there.
All of these other outlying houses are farmland.
There's a chapel nearby. You can go and have a pray, dear.
Wrong god.
It's not stopped you before. Right.
Fruit.
To the apothecary.
You can always pop in there whilst we're at the apothecary to see if anyone in the chapel knows the paladin.
Could do.
Very good film, King Tilfane.
Perhaps then, if you and Richard go to the apothecary and get healed, can you pick me up some bandages while you're there? We may as well send our cleric in to do the heavy religious talking.
All right.
Come on, Aguariel dear, let's go and see the nice religious people. You get on so well with them all.
So, I'm assuming you're heading up the main shopping street, or are you just walking across the farmland, or are you just going up?
We're up the shopping street, I guess.
Okay, and then both Vari and Aquariel are going towards the chapel of Eronius, and Richard and Tilfane are going to visit the apothecaries.
Yep.
Okay.
You come and meet us there afterwards.
So, making your way through the merchant district again of Oakhurst. This is the busiest, aside from the main market square itself, the busiest part of Oakhurst during this time. There's so much trading, selling, merchants shouting and selling their goods and wares, and other merchants trying to bargain, barter, and trade. And you see a lot of other races here also. There are some dwarves, halflings, gnomes, all trading different luxuries from their own kingdoms, and humans and also trading with each other from different parts of Pendor. You can see different emblems from all over Norheim, Torlin, Barovia, just all different types of heraldry emblems and merchants trading with each other. It's very difficult to push past the very busy crowds as you make your way through the shopping district. It's very, very packed and very busy. So are you kind of trying to stick together? Are you just trying to push your way through? I mean, how are you making your way through the busy, very busy shopping streets?
I think we should just put Richard up front. He's big enough, everybody will get out of the way. Just
I
don't
would
punch
second that.
anybody.
Or drink from the well.
Or drink from the well.
Keep your blanket in it.
We're going past the well. Remember, I have promised you a cup of tea in the inn if you don't drink from the well. Okay? Okay. Right, if you lead on, we'll stick behind you and follow in sort of single file through the crowd, I guess.
Okay. As you kind of making your way through this very heavy crowd, like Richard's up kind of pushing people aside a little bit and
Gently.
somewhat shoving through people, and some of the merchants just sort of giving him dirty look. Oh, bloody hell! And well, they're busy, like coins in their hand, almost spilling them as they're kind of getting shoved aside, and you can just hear shouting and selling of all different types of goods, between meats and metals and linens and furs and just anything you could possibly want. And after spending some time making your way through the crowds, you're beginning to kind of see the ending of this busy street.
Excellent.
So is there anything else you want to do in the shopping district now before you exit?
Do we want to buy anything? Does anybody need anything? Or
Do we have some things we need to drop off?
we do have some personal possessions we picked up.
Did
in
we
the
not
cave.
give those back to the guard captain?
Yes, you did. Felciel took those
That's right.
for you.
Good. Okay. Oh God.
Yes, there are many butchers selling all different types of meats and
Raw meat, Richard. Sorry, I nearly said Raleigh. That's why I was like, Richard. It's raw meat, so don't just be going helping yourself, all right?
It is indeed raw meat. I go and pick up a raw meat. Yes, still faint.
We could probably do with some more rations.
I believe I still have some, but they won't be very good for much longer, I wouldn't have thought.
How long is it going to take to get to the citadel that Felciel told us about?
Not long.
Days.
Oh, the citadel. I thought you meant the chapel.
Yeah.
The citadel is a day or so into the mountains. It is a snowy mountain trek. You go very deep into the mountains to reach the ravine that the citadel is.
So it might be worth us all investing in some long-lasting rations.
How much money do we have? Because I don't have any on me.
Ah, always. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I have 10 gold, 37 silver floating around in there somewhere, so...
This is because I didn't loot the corpses of the dead.
This is true, dear. You do the moral obligations, I'll deal with the reality. Okay, so I think we should buy some rations. Can your ribs hold on just a minute, Tilthane, while we get some food?
Well, why don't they head straight there and we can do the shopping?
I want to buy it.
Well, what do you want to buy?
Is it possible to buy some scraps of leather and like a needle and thread?
Yes. Yes, it certainly is.
Are you into knitting?
Maybe the first person to knit. I could have mended it, you just needed to ask.
Well, Don't want to bother you, Your Holiness.
It would be not but a cinch.
He can mend it, or you can mend it yourself. It is completely your choice.
I'll do some quick patching myself. We can do some proper mending when it gets more damaged.
So as you walk up to the leather worker and Tanner, you kind of come to the store, lad. Scraps of leather. Yes, I have a few. What size were you looking for?
He's looking at his hand.
About hand size, my friend.
The size of that man's blanket.
A lot of
He kind of
leather.
looks all over you, looking at Richard.
Slightly more than scraps, I dare say.
Well,
That's exactly what he says as well. Slightly more than scraps, I dare say.
a couple of pieces the size of the palm of your hand.
Well, do you need it cut specifically, certain shape? I mean,
No,
we can mend this fine leather tunic for you if you so desire. Just leave it with us for a few hours.
Do you want it fixed? I mean,
Will be as good as new. Trust, I am the best tailor this side of Norheim.
Quite a claim.
Yeah. What's that over there? Oh, sorry, my friend's calling me.
just buy the bloody scraps of leather.
Is that, yeah, I'll quickly buy some scraps of leather and.
Well, if you insist on us not repairing your armor, a few scraps, silver piece, and a scrap of leather the size of the palm of your hand. And he just kind of slaps it on the table. Some rough, coarse leather that hasn't been fully cut or shaped properly yet. So, a silver piece, please.
We may need a needle and thread.
Yes, I do need those as well. Do you have those?
He kind of looks a little frustrated. Well, looking to become a tailor yourself, are you? And he kind of gives you a small spool of thread and a needle. 2 copper.
So, how much was that in total?
1 silver and 2 copper.
Okay, I agree. I take the pouch out from the side of my cloak and hand over the
Dead man's gold.
yeah legitimately found money. So 1 silver and 2 copper.
Mm-hmm.
How much will it be to fix my armor?
Well, Vari kind of makes her way through the crowd, also kind of looking over it. Tilfane talking with the tailor, who's, on the stall. You see many stacks of leather. You also see some leather boots and other pieces of armor and things that he's made. And you can also see you can get the heavy smell of like a tanning tub from the back.
Yummy.
You see this the tailor's building, and then there's a small alley round, and you get the heavy smell of like a tanner's tub where he's tanning the leather and things. Well, my lady, looking, and he kind of eyes over your armor.
I'm sure that's all he's eyeing up.
His kind of wife is giving him a bit of a look as she's kind of shaking and slapping down leather in the corner. Well, 2 hours to repair, 50 silver pieces.
50? Make it
It'll
30
be-
and we've got a deal.
You're driving a hard bargain. 30 it is.
Done. I just dump everything.
But you're just doffing your leather armor in front of him, the straps coming off.
Stopping it. It's fine. I've got other stuff underneath. It's good.
Okay, so leather armor, putting it on things so you can see some like obvious battle wounds on and things like that. Come back within 2 hours and it'll be as good as new. Well, heavy workload today, it seems. Well, you're not as fun to eye up as she is.
Watch it.
Flick your hair back.
Oh, well. Turn around, lad. Let me have a look at the back.
Sorry. I nearly said and bend over. Sorry. It's just too easy.
I'm very tempted. Well, studs here missing. Some obvious damage there. 60 silver pieces. Gonna need a few more hours after I finish the our lady's armor here. It'll be done by tomorrow morning. No, 100 silver. No, 10 silver is a gold. Wait, yes, 10 silver is a gold, so 6 gold. Or you can maybe do a Vari and try some bargaining, try some negotiating. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yes. Wait, no, you're down to 8. Okay. How are you going to intimidate him? Describe to me your tactic here. So, Tilfane, Vari, and you are stood in front of the tailor right now. Aguariel's kind of just in the crowd, kind of looking on, standing aside a little. So how do you plan on intimidating this tailor? Yeah.
Would you benefit from this, though?
Yes. Scaring him, making sure he extra repairs your armor.
Let's not
Fixes those holes that- Yeah.
them too much. I mean, you know, we do still need to come back here. And I don't want him to mess up my armor.
Oh. Whoa, okay. All right. So give me a strength intimidation. So it'd be strength intimidation. We'll go with. So you have a proficiency in intimidation. So it's usually on charisma, but I'll give you a strength intimidation. You're trying to show off your muscularity. So we'll do a strength intimidation check. So you'll get the +3 from your strength bonus, +2 from your proficiency. So it'll be D20 +5. So as you hand the gold over to the tailor, you kind of lean in close. You grab him on the shoulder, and so you're giving him the gold with your right hand, and you grab him with your left and pull him in kind of close, just over his stall, and you just give him this menacing, fiery glare, and tell him that my armor better come back perfect, something along those lines. And he looks very intimidated. He's kind of frightened. Oh, well, sorry if I caused any offense. Your armor will be as good as new. I can promise you that. Do you mind letting me go, friend? And he kind of pulls back a little bit, and then kind of pulls his tunic down. Well, yeah, come back tomorrow morning. All your armor will be ready by then. Thank you for your business.
Much. I sort of literally just grab Richard's arm and drag him away from the stool. I turned around and said, "No tea."
I had observed this.
The locals.
I had observed this from the street and was not best pleased with his actions, so clout him over the back of the head with my reliquary. Good and proper.
That's what happens. It hurts. I know this. Don't do it again.
No, you're okay.
So clouted by a reliquary.
I think he has like a literal hit point left. So, yes, you take 100 points of damage.
I killed you with my reliquary.
Yes.
That'll teach you.
Okay, so.
Behave yourself, Richard. Tilfane, have you got everything you need?
For now.
Right.
Tilfane was just standing there awkwardly that whole time as well, which I find really funny.
Just looking round.
I was just really focused on the scrap of leather I got. I was going, yeah.
This is a very nice scrap of leather indeed.
Yeah. Just look up every now and again. Oh, no, this scrap of leather is really interesting.
Okay, so Aguariel and Vari now heading to the church. Yes, and Richard and Tilfane heading to the apothecary. So we'll go with our visit to the church first.
Okay.
So as you head towards the chapel of Heronius, it is a modest chapel. It's not too big. It's quite modest. It's not the biggest kind of cathedral or chapel you might have seen in some of the larger cities. It's as you kind of walk towards it, the doors are open and you can see a few people sitting on some of the pews inside, and there's also a small path leading around the gated entrance of the chapel that of course leads around to a cemetery for the people of Oakhurst. The large oak doors of the chapel are open as you kind of enter the dirt path leading up to the church.
Where do we go? I don't know what to do.
Well, one might suggest going in the front door is usually a good idea at a church.
Okay, well, you lead on. I usually break in through the back windows.
We're not breaking any windows today, or you'll get what Richard got.
I know. I'm being good. Just
you behave.
I
Onwards.
am. Promise. Go on.
Do I see anybody who's obviously of the clergy inside, or just some sort of parishioners, as it were?
As you walk in, there is a gnome in priestly garment, lighting incense and taking care of some duties around the chapel. There's also a few people sitting at some of the pews. But the chapel at the moment is quite quiet.
We should make our way over to the gnome, who seems to be working within the chapel.
Okay, I don't tend to be welcome in places like this. I'll be nearby. I'll just be in the shadows a bit. But things don't go well for me in
Whatever
churches.
makes you comfortable.
Thank you. I skulk off sort of into the shadows at the side, but I'm making sure that I'm staying within earshot and view.
So the chapel is quite decorated. It has many stained glass windows, and also along the walls are many statues carved in the iconography of the gods. Edrida, Gelera, and Athena, some of the other minor gods like Heronius, and there are a lot of very ornately carved statues and iconography to the celestial gods in this chapel. It's a very holy place, and for Aguariel, you can feel even your own deity's celestial presence in this place. It is a very warm, welcoming, and safe feeling place. The heavy smell of incense kind of hits you as you walk along the carved stone flooring of the chapel.
Reminds me of the temple.
Better go ask him. Go talk to him.
I'm going to go and talk to the gnome now.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. Yes, hold on.
Paused.
Okay. He's being called by the divines.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen a higher calling.
I am skulking in